So I'm gonna be rolling some woods to sell. Lately, right now, what I have is I think people know about them, but están de moda right now. Packwoods. They're pretty cool. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna be rolling some. Meanwhile, I tell you guys my story of how I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, I was just feeling very sick, and my mom, like, I just couldn't eat anything. I kept throwing everything out. My stomach was like suelta. But either way, I wouldn't even really use the restroom because I had 4 days without eating, right? Like, seriously, since like New Year, since the first day of the year, it was like a whole 4 days I was just not eating anything. Like, I don't know why. And then some of my tias were like, oh, like, because I was like, I don't have COVID. Because everybody in my house was negative. Like, and I had already took a test, but I was the one que faltaba to go take a test. But either way, in my head, I was like, if everybody's negative, I'm positive I'm negative. So I was just confident. But either way, the symptoms that I had were just not okay. And then after that, my mom came to the house, and then she was just looking at me. She was like, you know what? We're going to not take you to the clinic. Because at first they were going to take me to a clinic. They were like, no, we're going to just go to the hospital because you don't look good. So when they took me, it was just my mom and my boyfriend. What do you need, babe?
Nothing, I'm sitting inside.
So they just took me and everything. And then I was there for a cool minute. The waiting line was just like forever. It took a while. And then they put me suero and everything. I was ready to go. They told me that I was fine, that I was just dehydrated. And that was because I had 4 days that I had not ate anything. And then after that, before I left, they were like, so there's this one pill that I cannot give you, because if you're pregnant, we can't give it to you. And then I was ready to leave already. The hospital, like, they had already gave me like suero. I was ready to go. And then they were like, okay, so there's this one pill. You smell bad. Sorry. So there's this one pill we can give you if you're pregnant. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, so I need you to do some urine samples so we could do a pregnancy test. I was like, okay, that's fine. And they were like, when was your last period? I was like, I got off my period 3 days ago. And then she was like, oh, okay, perfect. And then I said, it's my period because I got it like, I got my period for December, basically. And because I went on January 4th. So I had just got my period like done los últimos, because I always get it at the end of the month. And got it regular at the end of the month. Got it my 6-7 days, because I always get it. It lasts this long. And everything. And then she was like, I FaceTime my mom saying like, oh, I'm ready to go, but they're just gonna do me a pregnancy test real quick because there's this one pill they can't give me if I'm pregnant. She was like, okay. And because they have us all outside because due to the COVID thing, so they brought the little thingy out. And then she got my, like, literally like the ones you do at home, kind of. Well, it was the one like how you do it at home. She put it right there and right next in the bottom next to me. And then she was like, I'm gonna drop the 3 little dots. She was like, so if it's 2, you're pregnant, and if it's just 1, you're not. I was like, okay. And then she just left. She left me there. I waited for a cool minute, and then boom. Oh, hi. But yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was just crazy. And I was just like, I was in shock. Like, I FaceTimed my mom because I was like telling her like, oh, like, pick me up already. But I won't be about to be outside because my mom and my boyfriend were waiting for me outside. There were like 5 hours that I took in the hospital. Waiting line was forever. And then I just told my mom, I was like, Ma. I turned around and looked at it. I was like, Ma, it's 2. And then I turned the camera around and showed her, and she was like, "Estás panzona?" And I was like, no. And I called the nurse. I was like, hey, like, it's 2. And I was just in shock. And then I just hear my mom calling my boyfriend, hey, que está panzona. And I was like, I thought she was gonna be mad at her, honestly, like. But then again, she said, thank God that I was okay, that I was ready to go home. So that's it. That's how I found out. And then, thank God, my boyfriend and my mom were both there. And then, after that, how many days did I go back to the hospital again?
Like
after that?
4 or 5.
4 days?
5
Then
days.
again, I still kept feeling bad. Then 4 days after, I went to the clinic again. No, to the hospital again. So I felt the same. I was just not eating, nothing. Kept throwing up. And then they left me there over the night because I was very dehydrated. I needed something. I needed potassium and I needed a lot of suero. Oh my God.
You know how you found out you were having 2?
Because they took me in the night. Okay, so I was ready. They had my sweater right there, right? And then they took me in the night. Oh, can you split me backward? I think I put it right here. Oh, so they took me in the night. It was like 1 and 12. It was 12:40. About to be 1. They took me. They were like, oh, we're going to do an ultrasound to make sure everything's fine. To make sure that the baby's fine. I was like, okay. So they took me to the ultrasound. And then the lady, I got ready and everything. And we're checking my stomach. And then the lady was like, so do you know how many babies you're having? And then I looked at her. I was like, babies. I was like, what? What do you mean babies?
What did you thought when you heard babies?
I don't know. I was just like, babies. I don't know. In my head, I was just like, babies. Like, what the fuck? Like, in my head, it's like, what the fuck? That's not even possible. Like, I don't know. Like, how is it possible? You know? And yeah, she was like, yeah, babies. And I was like, babies. I was like, she was like, hold on, let me just double check, confirm. She was like, so that was when they were checking my stomach. She was like, okay, so to get better angles, she was like, I'm gonna have to do you I forgot what it's called, but they basically checked me down there. So she just checked me down there, and then I was just laying down and everything. And then she was like, okay, so let me turn it around. And she turned the big ass screen around, and she was like, so yeah, there's 2. I was like, oh my God. I was like, can I call my mom? So she was like, yeah, just give me 1 second. And then I was just, I don't know, it took a whole hour. She was checking down there, like a whole hour. Just there, con patas abiertas, ahí chequeando. And I don't know, in my head, I was just like, damn, 2. And then in my head, I'm still not even thinking about twins, right? I'm just like, damn, it's just 2 babies. And then she was like, yeah, so you're having twins. And I was like, oh my God, like twins.
How did you feel? What was the feeling?
I don't know. I was happy.
Were you
like,
happy with who? Yourself or me?
Myself.
And why not
creating
me?
these babies.
And why not me?
No, I was happy. So yeah, that was just crazy. I was just in shock. I could have just not believe it. Twins.
I'm telling you, fool, be careful with
them.
them.
And then I just started calling my mom, and then after that, I just kept. Oh yeah, after that, like after they stopped, they were done checking me and everything. I just called my mom. I called my sister actually, and then my sister was like, I was like, guess what? And she was like, what? You're okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. She was like, I'm having twins. Everybody started yelling, and then she went to my mom. My mom and my grandma were together right there in the night because they were doing some comida. And then I just like, let me see their face, let me see the reaction. And then my mom was like, she got all up in the screen. She was like, son dos, saliste como tu abuela. Because my grandma was like, estás igual que yo, tienes twins. And then I was like, oh my God, I know where they're coming from now. And I don't know.
My family has a lot of twins too, not just hers, people. So genetics was right.
Well, okay, anyways. No, he has families. Well, his dad's family, my mom's side of the family has twins. I don't know about my dad. He's not in the picture. But his dad's, not his mom's. His dad's family, part of the family have twins before or have twins. But yeah, that's just how we just started asking, and that's just crazy. That's how I found out.
This good?
Yeah. Crazy, huh? How did you feel?
Shit, I was happy as hell. I swear. I was like, shit, 2
Oh, I called, and then I called you in the night.
Bring them on.
He was asleep, actually.
Waiting for her because was waiting for her the whole day outside.
Yeah.
So they told me she was gonna sleep the night.
Yeah,
there.
my mom told me to tell him, because if it were for him, he would have stayed outside in the hospital in the car. And I told my mom was like, no, tell him to go home. And then I just told him to go home because I was gonna stay there. And then that's it. You woke up actually. I don't know if you felt the phone vibrate or what.
No, I just woke up.
Oh, you kept waking up.
with you.
Yeah, you kept waking
So
up throughout the
just make sure you
morning.
were okay.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But yeah. And then they showed me the little ultrasound. She let me take a picture of it too.